aforementioned vices.
What about tea?
What about tea?
Well, that too is vice. Caffeine is a drug, don't you know?
So is that what you're here to talk to me about? Tea?
Sweet Mary Jane is my vice of choice, as you well know. Of course, I'm addicted to selling it, not consuming it. I specifically chose to deal in marijuana. Sure, I could see there was more to be made in shifting the white or the brown powder, as you so chose, but you see, my jam, it doesn't kill anyone, and I like that. While your poison is and always has been the destroyer of worlds. So yes, your facilitation is most definitely participation. But I'm not here to give you a sermon on situational ethics.
So why the fuck are you here?
You're starting a war with me, George. And I'm trying to moonwalk with elegance here, but I'm finding it very fucking difficult.
I don't fuck around with Puff.
You send your man Dry Eye around my place to see if he can buy my business for a few beans? You didn't think I'd find out? Having me followed for months? Yeah, you crossed the line. And that comes with a price. You raided one of my locations. You know the rules, George. What the fuck were you thinking? You raided one of my locations. What the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking, George? Should you try and undermine me, or should you attempt to threaten my position again, I will be forced to accept your call to arms. Do you understand? Good. Now, I can see you're feeling somewhat under the weather. It's because I spiked your tea with a nasty little parasitic genus called Shigella. Left unattended, you will shit yourself to death before the sun doth set. I suggest taking 2 of these fizzy biscuits. You'll be fine in an hour or two, long enough to consider your past indiscretions. And George, if I can get to you in your own kitchen, I can get to you anywhere.
Did you do it? Do what? Did you raid Mickey Pearson's farm?
No.
So you're telling me that folk did this behind your back?
Well, let's just say this. He didn't do it in front of it. Did it without my blessing.
But you did go behind my back and offer to buy his business.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Now let me warn you the way you warned me. There comes a point where the young succeed the old. Don't push me.
There's some things I don't know about. Something between Dry Eye and Lord George. Now, whatever it was, someone killed Lord George. Anyone else might think that was you or Mickey. Should we continue with our little story? Does that arouse your interest, Raymond?
Sir Matthew knows Dry Eye. So what?
Well, yes, I agree. Perhaps they were just meeting up to talk about holidaying in the Maldives or the long-term implications of leaving the EU. But I filmed it, had it lip-read, translated and transcribed. Rather like the classic 1974 film The Conversation, starring Gene Hackman and John Cazale. You know, Coppola slipped that one out between The Godfathers. Yeah, it wasn't really for me. It's a bit boring, to be honest. Now, can I just say, that Matthew, he's quite something, isn't he? He's not your average American. He's a Mr. International. He even speaks a bit of Cantonese. Come here. You play Dry Eye, and I shall be Matthew. Come on. All right. Try and get it in time with his lips, all right?
Yeah.
Ready? Roll camera. Action.
There was an incident. Lord George.
Fuck's sake, Raymond. It's a bit fucking wooden. Put something into it, you know, a bit of welly. And action.
There was an incident. Lord George didn't come through it.
Didn't come through it. The last thing you need to do is attract any octopus.
Octopus? What does that mean? It's not a very good translation.
No, there's nothing wrong with the translation. Matthew's not that fluent, and it's Cantonese. Just go with it and fill in the blanks. And action.
It's all on Michael. He's to blame.
That is not a smart move.
Don't tell me what a smart move is.
I beg for your pardon.
You heard me perfectly well. There will be repercussions for Michael's actions.
You think you're running things, do you? Don't stroke my mouse hair.
Does mouse hair mean?
Yeah, I think what he means is don't jeopardise my deal, but I admit that one's a bit of a googly. Then Matthew loses it a bit, and his translation goes completely out the window. It's something about springtime and sweaters. I think what he means is he's upset. And then Dry Eye says something, but some cunt moved in front of me, so I didn't get that either.
Your Cantonese is dog shit. So I'm going to say this in English, and I'm going to say it once. So listen to me, Rubinstein. This is how it's going to play out. You're going to back the fuck off, and I'm going to take it all. And you will pay me my respect.
And there you have it. That's all I've got. Sorry. Show's over. But I think it's quite clear that they're not just mahjong partners, are they?
Not all of that was clear, Fletcher. I mean, according to you, we already know Matthew wants to buy Michael out. So why is that news?
Oh, don't you worry, my darling. We are going to come to the news. I am approaching my climax.
Dry Eye. I trust you will make Michael Pearson pay for this. You are the Dragonhead now. Solidify your position.
You'll be done, Uncle.
So Dry Eye got the upgrade he was after, didn't he, Raymond? The question is, what was he going to do with it, now that he's Billy Big Bollocks?
Give you 10 minutes, right?
Boss?
Hello, Roz. It's date night tonight. 9 p.m. You and I, River Cafe.
9 o'clock. I'll be there. We're closed?
Hang up.
No.
Hang the fucking phone up. Who's there?
Roz, who's there?
What are you doing here, Dry Eye?
Oh, it's warming up now, isn't it? At this point, I'm guessing that you didn't even know that Lord George was dead yet, let alone what Dry Eye was up to.
Hello, Dry Eye. What do you want?